Welcome to my channel. My name is Pari and I'm here today with Anjali Brannon, an Ayurvedic specialist. And today we will be talking about various measures to help boost our immunity against coronavirus, such as herbs, lifestyle recommendation, manual touch therapy, and essential oils. Welcome, Anjali, and thank you for being with us today and sharing this information with everyone.
My pleasure. Thank you for having me.
So let's begin with mentioning whether Ayurveda have remedies that could help boost our immunity at this time.
Yes, so there are several wonderful herbal remedies that Ayurveda has. One of which is called Guduchi or Giloy. The Latin name is Tinospora cordifolia because it has heart-shaped leaves. But that's a really great one to protect our immunity. They have done studies on flies that it nearly doubles the lifespan of a fly. Okay. So this herb is very good for immunity. And another herb called Amla or Amalaki. Amla is a fruit. It's an Indian gooseberry, and it's very high in naturally occurring vitamin C and antioxidants. So those two things are really great to boost our immunity. Triphala means three fruits, has Amalaki in it. The overall formula of Triphala is overall heating, and the Amalaki by itself is overall cooling. So in my practice, I typically refer one or the other depending on a person's constitution. Mm-hmm. Without a consultation, you can kind of just gauge, do you tend to run more hot or cold? You can also gauge it per the season. In this spring season right now, it is kind of up and down, cold and hot. So Triphala may be the best choice as it starts getting hotter, or if you have more of a tendency towards heat-related conditions like skin rashes, acidity, or heartburn. Those are definitely more heat-related conditions. Even infection is actually when the heat is high in your body. We call it pitta. You're more prone to an infection. So the cooling herb of Amalaki by itself and not in the form of Triphala may be better for those individuals. If anybody's confused and wants to have a consultation with me to get more clarity, I am doing remote video sessions now as well. Okay. And I'm very excited that I've discovered how to feel people's pulses remotely through my own that I just discovered this week, and I've been having a lot of success with it. I had the opportunity to confirm with 3 different clients as I felt it on my own, and then I felt their pulse. It was the same as I feel my own. It would change. And I've done several remote sessions, and it's been really effective. So that is an option. It amazed me, the power of intention, that as we just make the intention of like for me to feel somebody else's pulse, that I'll actually start to feel their pulse. And the person that I'm feeling the pulse for remotely will start to feel, a few different clients have told me now that they have felt as if I'm feeling their pulse on their hand. So wow. that was really great, really great. My teacher, Dr. Lad, in the movie Doctor from India, he actually does that as well. He will feel people's pulses remotely, and you can see him do that in that movie. I am just excited because it's a new part of my practice now that I'm having a lot of fun exploring. I've been feeling pulse, I've been practicing since 2001, but this opportunity has opened up now where I'm starting to do more remote work, and it's actually working out really well. So I'm happy to do that for anybody that wants to.
Okay, that's great. And then
one more herb, sorry, for that I want to mention for antiviral properties. Okay. And that is Neem. Neem is excellent antiviral herb. It strengthens our liver, which is really important in our immune system. And it's an amazing antiviral, antibacterial, antifungal herb. So that's something people can take preventatively, even just a little bit a day, either 1 tablet or half a teaspoon to 1 teaspoon a day of the powder with some hot water. That's a great antiviral herb, but really any bitter herb Dr. Laud would always say bitter is better for the liver. So bitter herbs, bitter greens, they all help stimulate our liver, and that helps in our immune system. So there's a whole plethora of bitter herbs in Ayurveda, from Guduchi to Neem, Mangista. There's a lot of other Western herbs also that are bitter, dandelion and things like that, even echinacea. So basically, but if you take too much bitter, you start to get vata aggravated, which is like spaced out, constipated, maybe a little ungrounded. So everything is in the right dose. Just because something is good, more of it isn't necessarily better. Those are some herbal recommendations. But even just drinking hot water frequently, it kindles our digestive fire. And it helps our immune system, our digestion to stay strong, which is an important part of immunity. And that hot water really does kindle our metabolism and help with our immunity as well.
Okay, that's some great information. I know you mentioned about some lifestyle recommendation as well. Would you like to elaborate on that?
Yes. So Ayurveda talks about how there are different times of the day associated with different energies. Between 6 and 10 in the evening, it is kapha time, water and earth time, more of a heavy, grounded time. That is true as well in the morning. So one of the best things you can do is to go to bed by 10 p.m. Studies have actually shown that as you go to bed before 10, you're basically preventing cortisol production, which increases after 10 p.m. So the quality of your sleep decreases. So a person sleeping 10 to 6 is going to feel more rested, for instance, than a person sleeping 12 to 8.
Okay, that makes sense. So sleeping cycle improvement is needed.
Yeah, right, because that's such an important feature of our immunity, to make sure we get good, proper sleep. Other things would be, the Wi-Fi exposure that we are being succumbed to at the moment with the world that we live in can take a toll on our bodies. So as much as we can, it's nice to be able to limit our Wi-Fi exposure, especially like when you sleep. You can turn your Wi-Fi off, or at least turn it off on your phone. When you sleep, either put it on airplane mode, or if you need the cell phone to stay on, for emergency purposes, you can just keep the cellular on and keep the Wi-Fi off, and then try to keep your phone at a distance. Just to try to limit some of that exposure. There are certain things that we do to help limit exposure. We have something at our center called tachyon discs, and they're basically, they block negative electromagnetic frequencies to help protect your field more. So the brand we use is Tachyons. There are other brands as well, but I found really good results with that brand, and you're welcome to get that. I believe the website is tachyon, tachyon-partners.com /Anjali, Anjali. But anyways, that's one thing that we can do. The 5G and the advent of that is, it is something to be considered. It did begin in Wuhan in China, and it does take an effect on our immune system. So I think there is a correlation between our ability to withstand something and having all that radiation and that exposure. So as much as we can, we live in a modern world. We have Wi-Fi all around us. I've got Wi-Fi right now to be able to do this call. But as much as we can, if we can limit it, that does help. And then the other thing that I recommend is meditation. Heartfulness meditation in particular, I find to be incredibly beneficial, and it is a staple for me. It's part of my daily routine, and it does help to increase our immune system dramatically because we get a very deep level of rest, and it starts to bring our entire system into balance. So that's a very useful thing that anybody can do, and it's free of charge. You can go to heartfulness.org and get more information on that.
I do agree. Meditation does help with our stress and anxiety and the panic that's going around right now. Just kind of centering yourself and bringing down that stress, flight or fight response kind of also helps with their immunity to not, to give it a break per se. And in addition, I agree, there's been so many studies and so many people talking about 5G showing the health risk to people and what it can do to on various levels of our health, including mental, physical, just the whole holistic way. So that's some really good information to look into and even consider. I know you also, one more thing, that how I understand you do a lot of body work modalities, and is there anything people can do for themselves at home?
Yeah, that's a great question. So I do something called lymph drainage therapy that I've learned through the Chickley Institute, and they're phenomenal if you ever want to take any classes. But there are some techniques that I can teach you that you can do on yourself. Working with our lymph flows through our entire body. So it's a whole separate system of lymphatic vessels. So as we start to work with that and increase that lymphatic flow, it dramatically increases our immunity as well. So the way that you can do that, you have to imagine the lymph is like a liquid layer underneath your skin, almost like an oil layer. You can think of it that way. So you can put your fingers right above your collarbone, just right here, and you're not really massaging, okay? So massaging is like this. You're putting your fingers here, and you're kind of making the intention to get in touch with your lymph in that liquid layer just underneath the skin, and it moves in a 3 to 4 second wave. And sometimes it goes into a different rhythm, which is faster, but you're basically following that flow. You're kind of helping with that flow, and you're moving down towards the clavicles.
Okay.
And then you come to the side, and then you're going in towards your neck.
Okay.
So down towards the clavicles, in towards your neck.
Okay.
And then you would do that on the other side as well.
Okay.
And this helps to increase our lymphatic flow, because what's happening is you're bringing it down from your head. You can then put your hands on your neck, behind your neck, and then start to go down towards, so you're going down towards your back. And so you're starting, so the lymph, when we do lymph drainage, it starts and ends here. So you start here, and you end here as well to kind of rinse the lymph, you can say. So what's happening is then we can go underneath the axilla. What's happening is, like, for instance, when we do the axilla, the shoulder, the back, they're all draining to the axilla. The arms, it's all draining to the axilla. So if you go into that armpit area, to the top of the armpit, and you go up towards, it's like you're kind of, you could think of it as going diagonally towards your chin or something, but you're going up. You're going up into it, and then you let go, and then you're going up into it and you let go. So it's like you're almost pumping the lymph. You could think of it that way. But if those of you that are more subtle, that can kind of get more in touch with your subtle awareness, you can put your awareness, make the intention that you're going into the lymph, and then ride the lymph wave. So it's like you're riding this wave, and you're following it in its movement, as opposed to trying to do something to it. So those are big ones. So here, here, and then the other ones are at the inguinal area. So you can, and that's diagonally going towards your belly button. So on both sides. And then the other one I would do is liver. So for liver, you put your hands right underneath your right rib cage. Underneath your kind of right chest area. Let's see if I can move this. I might stand up and show you.
Yes.
So you can go down diagonally to the belly button, and then diagonally up towards the heart. Okay. So those will help drain the liver. And then, like I said, you start and end here. So when you're done, again, go to the clavicles. Going down. And then from the sides going to the center. So this is just kind of like something you can do on yourself. I mean, if you wanted to learn it extensively, again, I would refer you to the Chickley Institute, Chikly, and you can learn it extensively. You can learn a lot of different methods. Bruno Chickley is amazing. But this is something that you can just start doing on yourself to help increase your immunity. And then the thymus gland is here kind of under our breastbone.
Mm-hmm.
So it responds really well to the waltz rhythm. So you can go 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, and then switch even if you want to do a little brain gym.
Mm-hmm.
Do it the other way. 1, 2, 3. That helps. You can keep switching, and then it's kind of good for the brain as well because you're using your left and right brain. But what's happening, and you may find that it's kind of tender, is it's stimulating that thymus gland, so it'll help increase your immunity. There are points right next to our breastbone in between our ribs that are really good pressure points for the lungs to help strengthen your lung function.
That's very important now. Corona affecting the lung.
Exactly. And then these points, are, they're on our hands, they're on our feet as well, foot reflexology, hand reflexology, in our hands, they're going to be on the top and the grooves, and between the bones. And then on the feet, they'll be in the same place between the toes between those bones at the top of our foot. That's our lung point. A lot of different parts of the lungs. So the first one on the toes, between, let's say this is the big toe, then that point between the big toe and the first toe, you'll find a lot of times is the most tender. That's a really good toxic release point too. It helps the lymphatic system as well. So anyways, these pressure points are things that we can do on ourselves. Even when we, for instance, massage our face, even the face is related to our whole body. So here's the head, the shoulders, the arms, the spine, here's the pelvis, and even the jaw even looks like the pelvis, so it reflexes to the whole body. So like, let's say you don't even know where the points are exactly, but like just massaging your face, you end up giving your whole system a massage, your whole body. So the value of pressure points is really helpful. So yes, instead of like panicking and reading the news all the time, which can be very fear-inducing, we can take that time to do some self-care practices to help strengthen our immunity, and just give ourselves some touch and self-care. So yeah, those things can be definitely helpful.
And especially right now when everybody is asked to be quarantining themselves at home and not allowed to really go anywhere or limit, going to places, this is perfect way at home to, try out, do these activities. And as she has mentioned about self-care to help boost that immunity. That way, the best you can help yourself as much as possible. And then something that also you were talking to me about is essential oils. So how can essential oils be helpful for our immunity against this virus at the moment?
Sure. Yeah. So there are several essential oils that can be really great and helpful. I use a brand called Young Living because they're very high quality, but there's a formula in there called Thieves that the reason that it got its name is that the thieves wore it during the bubonic plague and they never got the plague and they were able to steal things from people. But the idea is that it can really protect our immunity. So that's a really good one. They have another blend called Immu Power. There's one called Purification. So I'll just put those essential oils on. Let's say I have to go grocery shopping or something. I'll just put that on as an extra, a way to protect myself. If you're interested in that, you can go to youngliving.com and you can sign up under me. You can order it retail or wholesale. My member number is 664-344. But that's a great company. And you can even put them in your water like Thieves. You can put a drop in your water, for instance, and helps. It's basically like putting herbs in your water in a sense, like tea, but it's more concentrated. So you can put a drop in your water and that can help as well. That would be with the Thieves, for instance. So yeah, that is definitely a whole nother topic of conversation that you could maybe explore with another interview. But that's just a little snippet of information that could be useful, that's just yet another tool that we have at our disposal.
Thank you very much for sharing. I do have one quick question. So some of the remedies you have mentioned, how can people find out more information? Can they contact you, or is there any website they can go to get these products?
Yes, you can go to our website, midwestayurveda.com. And we can help you with getting some of the products, consults, oils, whatever, the EMF blocker for the cell phone, to block the negative electromagnetic frequencies. So we can get all of that to you. Just shoot us an email, or you can even find us on Facebook, Ayurveda Natural Health Center, and we'll definitely help get you what you need. Mm-hmm. And we actually have a class coming up in just a few days with Janae, who's our Ayurvedic lifestyle consultant. She's teaching a 1-hour online class on 10 tips to help improve your health, and they're separate from the ones that I spoke to you today about. Okay. And it's about how to set up an Ayurvedic routine in your lifestyle, things that can help support your system. And I deliberately did not mention those in case people wanted to take her class, and you can spend a whole hour learning about all these great Ayurvedic lifestyle techniques.
Okay, thank you very much. And if you want to know more information, as she has already mentioned, go on the website, email her. I know with some of the medication that we take allopathically, you also have to consider about any contraindication. So do talk to her before you start taking any of the remedies, herbal remedies she has mentioned. That way you don't have any side effects. So usually a lot of these herbal remedies do not have major side effects, but just for your information, contact her to get more information, whether it's safe for you to take that herbal remedy or not. Thank you very much, Anjali, for sharing this information and with us today, and we look forward to talking with you again later about different Ayurvedic remedies and lifestyle recommendation. Please, everybody, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share, and also contact Anjali to find out more information and go to her website. Thank you.
Thank you.